Transnet workers say they will not give up the fight until a fair wage offer, as they put it, is put on the table. They want an increase of between 12 and 13%. The Durban Chamber of Commerce says the ongoing strike is costing the sector a fortune. Reporter Lethiwe Mdluli joins us live. Lethiwe, just as we went to air, I see that there's a combined media statement from Ministers Toko Didiza of Land and Agriculture, Pravin Gordhan, Public Enterprises, who of course oversees Transnet, and the Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi. They're expressing their extreme concern about the strike, which is now into a week. And they're basically saying South Africa cannot afford the kind of knock-on job losses that we're likely to see from this Transnet strike, because it's affecting our exports, it's affecting what happens at the ports, and it's going to affect our economy on a much deeper level. So there's great concern. You've spoken to businesses as well. Just tell us a little bit more about what you've discovered today.
Well, Sally, the knock-on effect is affecting everyone involved, especially businesses. So today, my focus was mainly to speak to people that are directly affected by the strike. And I spoke to a few gentlemen from the trucking industry here in Durban. And I also spoke to a company that helps out with fixing those ships that dock at the port here in Durban. And all of them are saying that they are losing money as the strike continues. Of course, that statement that has been released saying that the already ailing economy is going to basically react badly to the strike. And of course, that's also what the businesses are saying that with each day that the strike continues, they are losing money. And it's not something that they're currently experiencing because it's only been a week, but they are expecting that in about 2 weeks' time, if this goes on any further, they will be losing money. The trucking industry here in Durban, the guys were saying that they had to lay off a few drivers because that means that they are not making money. And in that statement that was released not so long ago, they were saying that they are fearing job losses that could come out of this. And of course, right now, as we're speaking, there are some truck drivers that are at home, sadly, because of that strike action. I also had a chance to speak to unions a bit earlier on outside the Transnet offices here in Durban, and they were saying that they are not wanting to strike any further, but of course they are saying only when Transnet offers them something fair, then they will stop. They are asking for a 13% wage increase, but unfortunately Transnet only saying that they can only afford 5%. Of course, those negotiations are still ongoing. It's still not yet clear whether those negotiations will yield any positive results, but of course businesses are feeling the pinch, especially here in Durban, because we're coming from COVID-19 and also the looting and also recently the floods. You'd remember that the port was affected by the floods, and now this strike action is affecting a lot of businesses as well. While speaking to the businesses a bit earlier on, this was their reaction to what is currently happening.
So Transnet also needs to come to the party. The delays, all because of their inefficiencies, which is internally, it's causing a ripple effect on the transport sector and the industry as such. Right? It shouldn't be the case. They've implemented a lot of stats in applying a worldwide recognized booking system 2 years ago, but unfortunately it's not working the way it's supposed to work. We do like the system, right? It can work for a lot of people, and it has worked for us. You know, we've done good work with it, but unfortunately it's also controlled by a human sitting behind a computer, right? And it's not what it's supposed to be, working at its optimum level, and it all boils down to the inefficiencies internally in transport, on the wharf side there, and landside operations.
The livelihoods of not just the companies and transport companies are being affected, it's also the drivers' families. Everyone has an amount to feed, let's put it that way. Being that said, everyone is suffering. The transport companies are actually sitting, doing nothing, waiting for the strike to go over, basically.
Yeah, everyone is suffering, as he says. You've also spoken to the Durban Chamber of Business. And of course, the Durban Chamber is one of those saying we are prepared, our members are prepared to help, to try and offer a little bit more to try and assist with this Transnet strike and ending it. But they've given you some startling numbers about how much the strike is costing the economy. Tell us more.
Well, Sally, while speaking to the president of the Durban Chamber a bit earlier on, he did say that 1 day lost in the port sector means that it equals to 7 days, which means that for now they are looking at a 3-week backlog because it's been 3 days since the ports are not working. And they are saying that they are expecting to lose about 17 billion rand if the strike actually continues. While speaking to the president of the Durban Chamber, they did say that business is willing to offer or pay for some of the services. He did say that a lot of businesses, because they are suffering, they are willing to find a way to end the strike. And Durban Chamber also saying that there are some moves that they're trying to maneuver to try and talk to the unions, talk to Transnets, and find a solution to some of the issues that have been raised by the workers and also the unions. They are saying that, of course, coming from COVID-19, the riots, and now this strike, businesses are suffering a lot, and they are looking at losing a revenue of about 17 billion rand, which is not something that they want. And they're also very concerned about the fact that some of their clients or people who are willing to bring business into the country are now opting to go to other ports because of the strike. You heard some of the businesses talking about those clients going to Mauritius or Mozambique instead of actually coming to the Durban ports, which is affecting revenue of this country and also is impacting on the economy as well. While speaking to the president of the Durban Chamber, Prashin Maharaj, a bit earlier on, this is what he had to say.
If one looks back at the 2010 strike, that strike was 17 days and it cost 7 billion rand. So if one extrapolates that for inflation and increased cargo volumes, we're looking at a total cost of probably 12 to 15 billion rand, and that's about 1 billion rand a day it's costing the industry. More importantly, we've done a calculation. The last time, 17 days, it took 7 months to clear the backlog. So basically, for every day of strike, we create a 2-week backlog.
Wow, 1 billion rand a day, and every day, did he say, a 2-week backlog? I mean, it's mind-blowing. Lethiwe Mdluli, thank you very much for updating us on this Transnet strike, which really is a crucial issue that has to be resolved. Still to come on